I'm Jason Calacanis, and this is my partner,
Mike Savino.
And we are here doing
Office Hours in Sydney.
There you go. Look, you're learning how to host a
Thanks,
podcast,
yeah.
Mike. I'm teaching you right here, live on air. All right, next up is Frances Atkins, and she has a company called GoodGivs.com. It's an online good giving and event sharing platform combining gifting and charitable crowdfunding. Yeah. Give us an example. Welcome to the program, and give us an example, the best example of
how it works.
Of a crowdfunding, charitable, combining gifting event.
Okay,
sharing.
So
an actual real world one.
Yeah, sure. So we came up with this idea because we wanted to tackle the problem of unwanted gifts, and an example of where it was used was actually for my daughter's birthday, and her previous birthday she'd received 20 to 30 smaller value items, and we ended up taking probably 80% to charity because she just didn't respond to them, didn't want them, loads of Play-Doh in there. Doesn't like Play-Doh. So next year, we asked her to think of a gift that she would truly love to receive, and she really wanted a bike. She wanted a pink bike with a basket on the front. So what we did was we created a rapid prototype of this platform, and we sent it out to a bunch of our guests. And what we found was they all contributed to towards her gift, and it hit the target amount for the bike, and it kept going. And what we ended up doing was channeling the extra proceeds to a charity of her choice, which was Bikes for Life, which restores and recycles. So
how wonderful!
Yeah. So that's where the concept came up with, because we realized we didn't need all these things, and today, people are very concerned about clutter in their homes, clutter in their minds, and
Marie Kondo has
made
an entire franchise around getting rid of stuff that you bought last year. What is your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge is we're super new to the startup world. We literally created the rapid prototype 3 or 4 months ago, and then when we got interest from guests, so they saw the event page and they went, oh, I want to use that for my kid's birthday, we created the back end to create the page so anyone could use it. Mm-hmm. And I guess where we're at is that, so there's two types of participants. There's the host and then there's the guest. We know from our testing that once a host sends out an event page that more than 90% of the guests will use the platform and they won't bring gifts to the party, which is amazing because that's the outcome we're trying to achieve. And we know that, so we've got different pain points that we're tackling. So from the guest perspective, it is around the fact that it's super quick and easy to sort of deal with the buying the gift problem, because you're
actually solving their problem as well, which is now you've relieved them of having to go to the store and buy something and then wonder if the person is going to like it.
Yeah.
So that's why you have such strong product market fit. We've been talking this episode about strong product market fit. Here's an example of very strong two-sided product market fit. Your daughter, the gift receiver, gets what they want, and the gift giver saves time, likely saves money, and saves the pain of giving somebody and that look on their face when they don't like it. What's your biggest challenge?
So that's the guest side. The host side is a completely different pain point around just not wanting plastic toys or, not wanting to have to deal with things that they don't want in their home. And so I guess what we're trying to figure out as we go to test with our early adopter market is what's the right messaging, what's the right positioning, because we want the hosts, because once we get the hosts, we know the guests come in.
What do you think the right messaging is?
I've asked quite a few people this, and I'm getting different messages. So some people are saying, go after the guests. So with the host, tell them that they're solving their guest's problem. But I know, having used the platform, that if you said to me, oh, you should use this great platform because it's going to make it super easy and quick for your guests, I don't know if that would really grab me. Okay. But if you said the other thing, I would maybe use it.
Have you read the book Lean Startup by my friend Eric Ries?
I think I have a long time ago.
Yeah. So this is something you want to start thinking about. There's a concept of an MVP, and there's a concept of testing. I want to give you permission to test this in the laziest way possible, which is there are a bunch of software platforms which will let you make a landing page that's exactly the same. And then when you have 100 guests come to 5 different parties, you would randomly give them 3 different messages at the top as a tagline.
Right.
And then what you would see, because you seem to be pretty scientific about this, you said 9 out of 10 people did it. You would see that message, and then you would be able to do cohort analysis and say, of the people who saw teaching kids to be better citizens, teaching them to give to people less fortunate to them. That's one value proposition. Another one, taking the pain out of parties. Don't waste time buying, whatever. So taking the pain out of taking the pain out of giving. Now you've made a tagline that works for the person, the guest.
Yes.
So one is for the parent, one's for the guest, and then you do one for the kids. Get what you want and help people less fortunate than you. And you combine that, and then you market to kids. Now you see which one resonates with those group of people. The other way you could do that as well is to email the people who've already used the platform and have that message up top and do the same kind of A/B testing and see if it says, register your child's next birthday and ask them what they want. It's a great device. And you say, what does your child most want? And you put like 6 different things, or pick a different one, put in an Amazon URL if you want, or pick something from Amazon, put it on the URL. Super easy. And then you can test that. So this is just testing that, since you're not from the startup world, you're likely not aware of.
No, that's right.
And this is what we do. This is the science of startups. Mike, what do you think?
I think this is a great idea. I've had 3 kids. I have an 11-year-old now. And, a lot of birthday parties now, people just ask you to donate to charity.
Yes, that's
right. That becomes now, where do you donate the money? I think if you had a bunch of sponsored charities that you could tie in, it would even make it that much easier for the giver. Right now, you don't have to think about going to another page. Or automatically the overage goes in. The question, though, is how do you make money on this?
A service fee on total funds raised.
So,
Just like any crowdfunding site.
GoFundMe,
so the thing
whatever.
you have to worry about is that you're somewhat of a feature of something like Evite, all right? And you need to move quickly, because it wouldn't be that difficult for somebody to replicate what you're doing. And I think you need to create some messaging around you being the more noble choice in a way,
Yeah. And then one of the important things that founders should think about is, what do you want to see in the world?
What do I want to see? Okay. So in Australia, we spend $1 billion on unwanted gifts. And what I want to do is turn a portion of that into gifts that people value, have meaning, and that they keep, and that a portion goes to...
So you're a do-gooder. You want to see the world get better.
I am.
And you should use that. You should become a brand ambassador for what you are, because I think you speak to this and make it more personal, and I think that'll be a draw. Why somebody would want to use you than Evite if they added this feature to it.
That's right.
Yeah. Also, if you're going to do this in the world, life is short, and you should bend the world to your best version of it. That's the beauty of being a founder. I have chosen to make my life's work inspiring people and investing in them to, build products and services that make the world better and make me incredibly wealthy. That's what I've chosen to do. Joking. But I've chosen to work with early stage startups in this format exactly. And sometimes founders, and we heard it here today a couple of times, they start thinking about pleasing other people. The beauty of startups is that you're not working for somebody else, you're working for yourself. Create the world and the office that you want to go to every day. When I come to my office at launch, when I'm driving there, I get the tingles. I can't wait to get there. Can't wait to see the companies at the office hours in San Francisco. Can't wait to interact with founders. Can't wait to read the next pitch in my email. Can't wait for Angel University tomorrow. Create the world where you get that tingly feeling and you get out of bed and you're not dreading work. You ever have a job you dread?
Oh, I have, yep.
And you're just like, oh God, you're on the subway, you're getting there, and then you're at work, you're looking at the clock and it's moving
this is
at half speed.
A lot more fun.
Keep it
also
fun.
Passion.
Keep it fun. Make it so passionate for you, because if you create the world that you want and you make it passionate for you, you're going to be 10 times more effective. You're going to make better decisions, you're going to be more motivated, and you're going to be so attractive to come work for. And that's what investors are looking for. We're looking for somebody like you with a world vision that's so compelling that the people who are out there who think like you, and I think there are a lot of parents, will say, I'm going to quit my job at big, giant companies, some giant bank, one of the big 4 banks you have here that people hate or like or don't, whatever. And they'll say, I'm going to get out of this bank. I'm going to take a 20% pay cut and work with this crazy person to make the world better and to teach our kids philanthropy. One birthday at a time, so they don't become entitled brats. And instead they start looking at their birthday as a way for them to give back to society, because society is broken, it's consumerism's garbage. And I want to change that. You're that inspiring leader. Be that inspiring leader. Don't do it on your own terms.
That's what I plan to do.
All right. So now you know how you should market it.
Yeah.
You should market it from your heart.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
No, that's great. That's
Just
really good feedback.
Go deep in there. Like you have something with purpose. I have a friend in America, Adrian Grenier. He's an actor. And he texts me every now and again. He's like a pretty famous actor in America. He was on a show called Entourage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the name, but
yeah,
I know the show.
The show Entourage.
Yes.
he was the lead in Entourage.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who
yes,
plays
I know
Aqua.
exactly who
You know
you're talking about now.
He's a really great guy, and he will slide into my DMs every 3 months, and I'll say, Jason, can you help me with this? And then I look at what he's asking for help with, and I get a lot of requests. He wants me to tweet to tell people to not use straws. Or he's like, will you talk to this person at Starbucks with me to try to get them to do plastics? And I'm like, this guy's living his best life. He could be an actor, he could do whatever he wants. He's sitting there every day on his Instagram with his Lonely Whale program. And you know what? He's attracting a large group of people who also think the same, that we should save the oceans. And the world needs more people like that and more people like you.
Oh,
so your success for you is that your kids, your daughter, is a better citizen. That's enough. And if you make 100 more daughters and kids like that, that's success for me. And that's success for you. And everything flows from that passion. If you don't have that passion in what you're doing, we can tell immediately as investors. We know. And we saw it earlier in this episode with the person who's making the spatial video. You notice he was trying to please the VCs instead of trying to please the paragliders and the ultramarathoners. And then you saw that click in his head, like, yeah, Jason's probably right. I'm probably trying to please the wrong person. Please the right person. That's you in your vision.